Welcome. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and talk about why it's ready for its next major move to the upside. So I'll take a look at things like the open interest, big flush that we had on this move down, taking out the leverage longs, and some other things like funding and indicators. Before getting into all the details, quick shout out to BingX Exchange. If you guys need an exchange where you can trade crypto, stocks, forex, indices, and commodities, no KYC required, then check out BingX with my link in the description down below. Also, I have a Discord group that's free. If you want to get added, just message me on Twitter. Twitter link is in the bio. Posting setups here, talking about Bitcoin more frequently. So check it out. If you're interested, just send me a message on Twitter and let me know, hey, I want an invite link to the Discord group. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Why does this look so good? Well, we can take a look at a few things. Let's start with the flush that we had on this move to the downside. So specifically, open interest flush of longs. So this is the biggest flush that we've seen since the bottom right back here. So we can take a look at this open interest flush. We have taken out the majority of leveraged longs, which means there's not a whole lot of fuel left to the downside. So often moves to the downside are flushing out over leveraged longs, taking out those positions before then going in their favor, but without them. So when we have a big flush like this, it often marks major bottoms. And so what it tells us is this is likely almost done, at least most of the way done, if not already done. But let's take a look at some other things. So funding rates. When we came down here, we completely reset funding. We even went negative. As you can see down here, a few times we got into negative funding. We're at very healthy funding rates here. So things are looking good as far as those metrics go. But then we can also talk about how this correction is actually forming. And right now it's forming as a three-wave correction, which is a pretty standard corrective move where very much more times than not, we see a continuation move out of here with this type of correction. But let's go look and take a look at some other three-wave corrections mid-cycle that we also had in the past. So here's one right here. Mid-cycle of the bear market, we have our three-wave correction taking out the highs here before then continuing the main downwards movement. You can see the similarity of this compared to our current three-wave correction here. Now, previous bull market, we also had a mid-cycle three-wave correction just like this one, as can be seen right here. So we push down, we push back up for a lower high, then we go down for lower lows again, sweeping out lows, and then taking off for our next major upside move. So that's another thing to note here. This looks like a nice three-wave correction where we should see a nice continuation move to the upside out of here. And when we pair that with our big flush here, and we take a look at the funding rates that have fully reset, we're seeing negative funding. It's looking very good. We can also take a look at our RSI and say, okay, we have reset RSI down to around 40, which is pretty normal territory for a bottom of a pullback in a bull market. So we can see our previous pullbacks where RSI came down to around 35. So potential there for a little more downside, but we're already in that territory where we're getting close to a bottom, if not already bottomed. Now, what would be kind of the final move to the downside if we were to get it? Well, the reason for that would be because we still have untapped lows right here, but we don't need to take out these lows. As we can see back in the previous bull market, we had a very, very similar setup here where we had a major low right here, but our three-wave correction didn't actually reach down to it. It just barely came shy of it, just like where we're sitting right at this very moment mid-bull cycle, where we have a very, very similar look here with that low. If we were to leave it untapped, then that wouldn't be extremely surprising. However, as far as taking a high probability position here, I would love to see this come down a bit more to then take out that low before we really take off to the upside for that next major trending move up to the 80, 90Ks area. So that's what I'm thinking right now. As far as the lower time frames go, we can see that looks like we are starting to form some bullish divergence here with the 4-hour time frame. Again, we see that major flush here with the open interest, longs getting taken out of the market essentially. And so it's very healthy to see this, and it's exactly what you want to see on a pullback if a trend is going to continue. Of course, we can go down a little bit more, it's fine. And that's what I would love to see to get the best possible entry below this last untapped low right here. So that's the one I'm talking about, this low. Would love to see something like this. We might not get it. We may just see this head straight to the upside out of here, which in that case, I would not have a margin position on. However, spot holdings would do very well, so I'm not holding back as far as getting out on altcoins for spot positions as well. So right now, not really ready for me to take a margin position here, but for spot holdings, getting in on those alts before things really take off to the upside. I'm not going to wait for the exact precise entry for a spot position. As I've posted here in the group, this is what I'm thinking. We can take a look at the data and see that this pullback is looking very healthy and corrective, just correcting the previous large moves to the upside. So that is it for this video, just kind of a quick one to say that things are looking good for further upside soon. However, I'm still just hoping that we can come down a little bit more to take out this low and then take off to the upside, but we'll see if we get that or not. That's it for this video. Don't forget to check out BingX Exchange if you need an exchange, no KYC to trade on. Also message me on Twitter if you want to get added into the Discord group where I'm updating things far more often. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching.